Yo, what's up guys, I'm back on a review for you. This time we have this 86 hero Donovan. Now I feel like a lot of you guys will be packing out your hero max 87 like I did out mine on my main account. So I thought I might as well get you out reviewing him. Now this is the team I use him. I use him in 3 heroes and also Insigne, not Red Neymar, but I got Red Neymar so I wanted to flex him. On stat sense, so it's 5'8", got the medium work, which is the right foot with the 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. In the 20 match I played with him, I got 7 goals and 3 assists, but I also played a few afterwards as well with him and Pele, just because him and Pele would play wide a lot of the time. I decided to go with the Hunter Chem style, and as I just talked about, I played him wider quite a bit at the time in a 4-4-2, but I also played him striker in a few games afterwards. Now, as you see by his alternate positions this year, it's really nice. So he can play right mid cam, centre forward, as well as striker, which makes him a very versatile card, and especially since he's got the 3 chemistry on his own. Now, on the stats then, so 89 pace, 86 shooting, 81 passing, 85 dribbling, and 70 physical. So on paper, it looks like a quite good all-round attacker. But I think more about that after on the positive and negative side of things. If you do enjoy the clips or want to see more, please do subscribe. It genuinely does help the channel out a lot. But I've got nothing more to say. See you after, and peace.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are.
So on to my own thoughts about the card then. Now, to kick this off before I delve into the stats, I'm going to get one thing out of the way. The Trivela shots on this guy are really good. It's because they're outside the fortune tray as well, I think. But honestly, right, he would hit most things on his outside, and it's always really nice, sweetly in the corner with them. But on stats then, we'll go through it. So first means the 4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. Now, the 4-star skills is a necessity, to be honest. You can't have anything less than this. It just allows you to get out of sticky situations at times. Obviously, you want the 5-star, but you can only have the 4-star on this card. Now, the weak foot for me, as I just talked about, the Trivela meta kind of takes away from the weak foot. You don't really need it. But if you are forced on the left foot, he has still got a 4-star weak foot. I don't think it's a 5-star weak foot necessarily, but it is still decent. Now, the pace for me, I didn't really feel like electric, to be honest, because in his 5'8", he didn't really feel fast as a card, hence why I used the Hunter Chem style. But overall, he's not slow. He will still be able to get away from defenders, but generally, he's not going to be that electric card that you want him to be. Now, as I talked about, the shooting attributes decent all round, to be fair. The finishing is one of his better attributes. The Trivelas go really nicely, especially with those 4-star weak foot as well. Both sides, it's just really good. Now, the shot power is a little bit low, to be honest, and this is why I boosted it with the Hunter Chem style as well. You could even boost it even more with like a Deadeye or something like that, but I think the +5 is just about good enough, and it will get you through to have some nice powerful shots. Now, the rest of the shooting attributes kind of average, to be honest, 7 the penalties, where it's actually quite important this year, because obviously the higher the penalties, the slower the circle will go, so obviously less room for error, should we say. Now, the passing for me, overall, not bad. The short pass is what you need, and the vision as well. If you play him striker, those two are the main attributes, and obviously when you're doing those 1-2 passing, that is the main key aspect. But the long pass is a little bit average, so I'd recommend you not playing him cam, to be honest. Now, the dribbling stats for me, now this is what frustrates me about this card, because in these 5'8", he's only got 83 agility base, which is actually quite upsetting, especially since he's not really got the highest of strength on this card, so he can't turn that well, and he also can't hold players that well, so you're going to have to find some other alternatives to do, like the pass and move kind of things, because he's not really the most of like swift and nimble cards like the Messi for the same height or something like that. Now, next to me is going to be the reactions to the ball control, and overall, not bad for both of them, but not amazing. Next up is composure. Now this is why his finishing went a little bit iffy at times, and you've seen a lot of the clips he would miss his chances. Now I think he missed in total a good maybe 7 easy chances, which was a little bit frustrating, to be honest, because then you are paying 100k for the card, and they will come down to his composure 1,000,000%. Now the air ability about this card, kind of useless, to be honest. No, actually very, very useless. He's got 65 jumping at 5'8", so that's just going to be very, very bad in the air. The stamina as well, it's decent, to be fair, don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of people want to play this card cam. I don't know why, but I would recommend against it. So that stamina will last you all game if you can play him striker or wide, but if you can play him cam, I recommend play him on a stay forward or something like that, and it will last all game. Now, the strength and aggression, as I talked about, is a little bit low, and since he doesn't have the highest of agility stats, it was disappointing, and I would recommend you boosting that. Maybe have the finisher chem style like how on Insigne, and then not boost the pace instead, or maybe like a Deadeye. You can do so many chem styles with this card because he's lacking a little bit in all attributes, which is a little bit annoying, but overall this is still a decent card. So, on to my overall scores about this card then. Now, on this segment, if you don't know how this works, I just rank each stat individually, the pace, the passing, the shooting, blah 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 blah. And I also rank how good the card is overall compared to other cards, and I also give him a value for coins rating. So, first for me is the pace. The overall for the pace, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I do recommend the Hunter Chem style purely because his pace is a little bit lacking at times, and the fast centre backs will be able to catch him, especially as lengthy boys. So I recommend the Hunter Chem style just to get that up as high as possible, because it is only 89 base. But with that being said, he's still not slow. Now, the shooting for me, as I talked about, the Trivela Met is really, really good on this card, and all this kind of shooting attributes really good, especially the 4-star weak foot. But he does have that low composure stat, and he will miss quite a few chances with that. So overall for that, I'm going to say 8 out of 10 as well. I just feel like it could be a little bit better, and he will miss a few less chances if he had high composure. Now, the passing attributes, the two that matter are the vision and the short pass, and he does have quite high attributes of both of them, but the rest of them are kind of low, to be honest. He's got low curve, so he can't really finesse it the best of the times. But, with that being said, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I do think that's fair if you play him striker, because he still does have good attributes. Now, the dribbling for me, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 as well. He's got some good attributes here and there. They're all kind of average, but he's just not the most agile card. It's what really frustrates me, because he's so small. You really do want him to be a bit more agile on this. Maybe like a 90 agility card, and they will still feel really good, but he just doesn't feel that nimble at turning. Now, the physicals for me, the one that matters is stamina, and that's quite high. So overall for that, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. If you play him cam, probably more like a 6. But with that being said, the stamina is still perfectly good enough, even if you could play him cam. So, on overall score then, overall score for him, out of 10, I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. I just don't think he could be any better than that. He is quite cheap to it, and he will link to himself, but he is MLS, so it's kind of useless, and he's from USA, so he's not really going to be even giving you that much of like links to be on a 7, like Insigne card or something like that, like maybe the Yedlin card if anyone's got that. But on value for coins, so he's coming in at 100k. Do I think it's worth it? I'm going to say no. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 value for coins. I just feel like you can get a lot better cards for the price, and especially since someone like Vinny is like 80k more, something like that, or even Ousmane Dembele is 40k less, he's 60k. I just feel like you can get a lot better cards. But if you do need for links somehow, I would say he's not a bad card to go with necessarily, but if you can, stay away from him, in my personal opinion. But that's all for my review. As always, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do subscribe. It genuinely does help the channel out a lot. But I've got nothing more to say. See you in the next video, and peace out, guys.